Alright, yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. We're gonna get into the topic of basically how to fix crashing. Now, if you're still crashing in 2023, then there's obviously something wrong, and this is why I'm making this video. So there could be lots of reasons why you're crashing. They could be weird, they could be really simple, or they could just be really obvious. But this is just gonna be a video where I list things that could cause crashes and things that you need to basically do in order to fix those causes of crashing. So without further ado, let's get right into what could cause crashing on your gaming PC. Alright guys, so the first few things that you could check are all based on hardware. Alright, so I really talk a lot about this in this channel, and it's really an important thing because I see this in my clients. A lot of my clients have overheating issues on their CPUs or their GPUs. So basically, the easiest way to check if you have overheating issues is to download something called HW Info, and that's basically a program where it shows you basically all the sensors in your PC, and basically it shows you temperatures, clock speeds, all of that information, but you just want to be looking at your temperatures and checking those. So let's get right into basically checking your temperatures for your GPU and your CPU. Alright, so I show this tool a lot, so some of you might have already known how to download this or already have it downloaded. But basically, go to the website and I'll link the description. I'll put it in there. Just go to hover over free download, click local if you're in the US, and it should start downloading Hardware Info 64. And then basically, once it's downloaded, you literally just open it with like 7-zip or WinRAR. So once you've opened it with that, just double click Hardware Info 64.exe. Make sure you check sensors only right here, just so it shows you the sensors, which is what we're looking at. We're not looking at anything else currently. Just press start right after that, and then basically it'll show you all this information. Now, if you're on Ryzen, you want to look for CPU TCL/T die. That's basically what you want to look for temperatures. And the proper way to check temperatures is check them with nothing opened first. If they look already abnormally way too high, then you have an issue with overheating. So I'd say about like 70 degrees with nothing opened, or just like a couple programs opened that aren't really gaming, that's an issue. So yeah, you really want to make sure that you're checking these properly, because you also are going to have overheating issues whenever your CPU is on load. So what this means is basically start up your video game, whatever game you're going to be playing. It could be Fortnite, Call of Duty, Valorant, Apex, all that. Start one of those up. Check the temperatures while you're gaming. Like, you could put this on your second monitor, or just like check it after a while. And if it hits like anything that is way too high, so I'd say about like 70 degrees or above is way too high, you need to turn up the fan speeds on your CPU cooler, or you need to replace thermal paste, or you need to get a whole new CPU cooler. And in the past, there have been some clients where they've literally had like i9s, and it was like the tiniest cooler on the i9. So that's literally why they were getting basically horrible performance, FPS drops left and right in games like Fortnite, and just really bad gameplay. So you really want to make sure your temperatures are fine. For Intel, it's going to say core temp, basically the same thing. And CPU package just means all the cores packaged up into one temperature, so it's just the averages of all the cores. So that's CPU temperatures. Then you can scroll all the way down towards your GPU, and basically the same thing here. But if you are getting like 60 degrees with nothing open on your GPU, you really want to turn up the fan speeds. That just means like GPU's getting too hot and the fans aren't spinning that well whenever nothing's open, and it's probably just going to overheat whenever you open up a game that actually starts using your GPU. So you really want to make sure that is basically below like 75. You really don't want the GPU to gain that hot, because it's going to keep downclocking itself. So yeah, check those two. Mainly, I see overheating CPU way more than overheating GPU. Overheating GPU usually happens just on really bad pre-builds, like Alienware pre-builds, or just pre-builds with no space or no headroom for the GPU to actually breathe in fresh air. So I'll link some CPU coolers, thermal paste, and just other information about that in the description below. If you need a new CPU cooler, I'll link the best ones in there. And if you need to replace thermal paste, which might be a lot of you actually, if you didn't have it, because thermal paste usually goes out basically every 2 years if you have really bad thermal paste, or just like the pre-built cut that come with thermal paste. So you really want to replace that whenever you have issues with temperatures. So let's move on to the next thing that could cause crashes. So the next thing that could cause crashes, or blue screens actually, is your GPU drivers. Now, this is very difficult to actually come to this realization, because because there could be a lot of other things that could hide this. But basically, if you're on a weird abnormal GPU driver that isn't the latest one or just one that comes with Windows, you want to get off of that ASAP. Whenever you reinstall Windows or factory reset your PC, Windows tries to install a specific driver that they already have in their bit database. That driver isn't really that good and it's very outdated. So the easiest way to fix this is just use display driver uninstaller and download the latest NVIDIA drivers. And I do have a complete NVIDIA guide that I show you how to do all that. Watch that guide if you want to do all that. Same thing with AMD, but I don't have a guide for that yet. For AMD, same thing. Display driver, you install uninstaller and install the newest Radeon drivers. And install the recommended ones, not the optional ones. The optional AMD drivers are really bad. Don't ever install them. They cause issues. You could install them if there's a specific cheap feature that you want out of those, but if that's the case, then you know what you're doing. But always install the recommended drivers from AMD. Now we're going to move on to the third thing that could cause crashes within your PC or blue screens. Alright guys, so the third thing that could cause basically any crashes or usually just blue screens is unstable memory. Now this is going to be a common issue for people that are on very high end sticks of RAM. So this could be like 4000 megahertz sticks, and if you're on that, you want to make sure that you know what the limits of your hardware is. So what I mean by this is that if you're on Ryzen, aka AMD CPU, and you're trying to push 4000, that is just not going to work. It's going to cause issues, and it's probably running at half that speed anyways, because a lot of CPUs on 5th gen, 3rd gen, they really can't handle that much RAM speed compared to Intel. So usually they max out, depending on the CPU, about 3800 megahertz. 5th gen has been reports of them being able to do 4000, but it literally doesn't matter. I haven't seen any CPU being able to hit 4000 with the FCLK, aka the Infinity Fabric, being 1-to-1 ratio, so you can get the best performance. And that's just not good. So if you are on AMD 5th gen or under and you have 4000 megahertz RAM, do not run them at 4000 megahertz. You're just going to get lower performance and you're going to get issues with stability. This is the same thing for Intel, but it's less prominent. For Intel, you want to stress test your RAM, make sure they're 100% stable if you're on 4000 megahertz. And the easiest way to do this is to run a RAM test, which I'll leave in the link in the description to download. It's called Test Memory 5, and that basically loads up all your RAM and starts testing it over a certain amount of time. So depending on how much RAM you have, it might take longer, it might take less time, but if you're on 16 gigabytes of RAM, it takes about 3 hours to fully make sure that the RAM is 100% stable on XMP. If you don't have XMP enabled, then you just need to replace the RAM. I know some people, they cannot handle XMP enabled. So what this is basically whenever you buy RAM sticks, you're not actually buying them at the speed that they list it for. You're just buying the RAM sticks and they factory overclock it to whatever speed they show. So that could be 3200, 3600 megahertz, or 4000 megahertz. All that needs to be enabled. You can't just plug them in and they run at that. Whenever you plug them in and you turn on your PC, they're going to run at 2133 megahertz, and that's for DDR4. For DDR5, it's going to run about 4800 megahertz. So you really might want to make sure that you enable XMP. If you're getting any blue screens or any issues after enabling XMP, again, make sure you're not running very, very high speeds. If you are trying to run high speeds on the RAM, lower them a little bit and see if it boots up perfectly fine. But if you're enabling XMP and you're on 3200 megahertz sticks or 3600 megahertz, that's a clear sign that the RAM is unstable at that speed that you bought it for, which sucks, but it is what it is. It happens. So in that case, you can either try tuning the RAM manually or just buying whole new sticks from a reputable source. And I just want to say, avoid Corsair RAM and cheap RAM like Oloy. Those are cheap for a reason. They're most likely not stable. I've had a lot of issues with Corsair RAM enabling their XMP, and it turns out that they are literally unstable and they just cause crashes and blue screens. So this is a really important factor. Not a lot of people talk about unstable RAM, so you really want to make sure you're checking your RAM, making sure you're not running high speeds that you cannot handle from your CPU or your motherboard. And yeah, let's move on to the fourth thing that could cause issues with crashing or blue screens. Alright guys, so the fourth thing that you really want to do if you're still crashing after checking all those previous things is either reinstalling your Windows, and I do have a video on that. I'll pop it up right here of what to look for, what thumbnail, but basically watch that video, reinstall Windows, and probably will get it fixed just doing that. But if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, you have some important files you have or whatever, back them up to another drive and try it. Again, if you can't do that, then there is a clean boot that you could do, which what a clean boot is basically you disabling all the services in your system that are not from Microsoft and that you downloaded from the internet because of programs and all of that. So basically you want to press Windows key and R, and it brings up this run command prompt. You want to type msconfig, press OK. It's going to bring up this handy little tool here. So basically how you do this is you go to services right here, check hide all Microsoft services. This is really important because if you don't have this checked and you try to disable any of these, you might mess up your Windows installation. So make sure you check this, and all these are going to pop up. So the easiest way to basically figure out which of these can cause issues, you just press disable all, right? Press apply and then press OK, and then restart your PC, and it's going to stop these services from running on your PC whenever you boot it up. And if there are no crashes after you've done that, then there is a specific service from one of these that you have that is causing that issue, and you're just gonna have to do trial and error to figure out which service it is, or just uninstall useless apps that you're not using anymore, or figure out which one it is. So yeah, in my case, I don't have any crashes, so I'm fine with just enabling these because I need them all. But yeah, now we're gonna move on to the fifth and last thing to check if you're still crashing. So guys, so the last thing, again, this is tying all over with hardware, and basically that could be a faulty power supply or a faulty part in your system. But basically a faulty power supply, how you diagnose this is if your PC is just shutting off randomly, basically completely shutting off, you have possibly a faulty power supply. And if you really have a really old power supply that is outdated, or a power supply that you know isn't good and you're crashing, you really want to get that checked out, just because it is going to help in performance getting a better power supply, and it's going to possibly fix that issue. So yeah, power supply issues are pretty much annoying to deal with because your PC is just shutting off randomly at certain times whenever the power supply is on load. So that's another thing to watch out for. And a little bonus thing that you could do is update your BIOS. Maybe your BIOS that you're on right now is buggy and is causing blue screens or issues. You could try updating that. I do have a video on how to update your BIOS on my YouTube channel, so you can watch that. So yeah, and the way to check if your BIOS is old or not, you just want to open up your start menu, and for me, you just press the Windows key, type msinfo32. It's gonna go to system information, and then you just want to look for BIOS version / date. And for me, the last date that the BIOS is on is from July 23rd from last year, and it's running perfectly fine. There are no issues, so there's no need for me to update. That's also another thing you want to watch out for. If you have no issues right now or you're trying to update BIOS, there's really no need for that unless you have a performance benefit from the newer version or something of that nature, or compatibility benefit. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you like this and if this fixed your crashing, comment down below if you figured out what caused your crashing and let me know which one of these it was. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, and if you want more things like this, turn on the notifications for my YouTube channel. And before all of you go, let me grab your attention for one more thing. If you want a full PC optimization service where you get this OS right here on my screen and get lower input lag, better FPS, lower system latency, and better smoothness in your gameplay, head over to the link in the description and book an optimization service. I now have the ultimate PC optimization service, which is basically the best service possible without hardcore overclocking. So what we do in this service is we literally optimize your system to the point where the only thing that's left is either upgrading your PC or overclocking it, and that's the only things that we do not do. If you want that, look down below my scheduling website, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.